Hello students, I am here with another video from the chapter Light, Reflection and Refraction of class 10th NCERT book. Before starting today's video, I would like to tell you all that what all things we have discussed till now. So we have started with the lesson with the word light, and I told you about what is the meaning of this word light. So light is a form of energy then which helps us to see the things. Next we discussed about the properties of light, that is reflection and refraction, which we have to study in this lesson. So the first property of the light is that it is showing you the process of reflection. Now what is this reflection? Reflection means it is the bouncing back of light. Next we have seen about the definition of refraction, that is it is the bending of light when it is traveling from one medium to another medium. Then next we have seen the image formation in the plane mirror, and for that there were two laws to be followed by the reflecting light. So when there are two laws, which is the first law which says that whenever the incident whenever the incident ray is there, the normal is there, the reflected ray is there, and then the point of incidence, angle of incidence, and all these are going to lie on the same plane. And the second law says that whenever the angle of reflection, we are going to measure the angle of incidence and the angle of reflection, which both will be equal. So angle I is always equal to angle R. Next we have seen that what are the properties of the image formed by the plane mirror. Then we saw that there are different types of mirrors, like spherical mirrors, in which they have curved surface for the reflection. So now there are two types of curved reflecting surface. One is the concave mirror, and the next one is the convex mirror, where the concave mirror is having the shiny surface which is curved inwards, and the convex mirror is having the reflecting surface which is bent outwards. So with this we have seen various other terms which are related with these spherical mirrors, like pole, focus, center of curvature, radius of curvature. And now today I'm going to discuss about the symbols which are used in the ray diagrams, and what is the meaning of this word ray diagram, and how we are going to make these ray diagrams in the case of the spherical mirrors, that is the concave mirror. So first we'll study about the concave mirror image formation, and then we are going to study the convex mirror image formation. So here first we should understand that what all symbols are to be used in this ray diagram. So we go on to the symbol number 1, that is how is this mirror going to be represented. So this mirror is going to be represented by by a line. Means if we have to draw a plane mirror, then it has to be drawn like this. Okay, so it is a plane mirror. For example, if you have to draw a plane mirror, that we have seen. Okay, you will draw a straight line, and then you will show the reflecting and the non-reflecting surface. So whenever the reflecting surface is being shown, it will be shown by the straight line, which is the straight line is going to be in a it is in a straight line, and the non-reflecting surface will be shown by the small dotted lines. Okay, so these lines will show that it is a non-reflecting surface. Now if you have to show, next is the object, that is how is this object being used in this ray diagram. So the object which is being shown in the ray diagram will be with the help of an arrow which is going to be like this, and the arrowhead is showing that the object is always upright. Now if you name it as A and B, so this shows you the object which is placed at various positions, like pole, focus. Okay, so it could be in between the center of curvature and focus. So many places are there. I'll just discuss these places, how are these images being formed in the next slides. Now how are these images going to be represented? When object is drawn in this way, means if we are drawing the object in an upright arrow, in the same manner, if the image is being drawn, if you have to show you the virtual image, then what you are going to do, you are going to draw this same line in the form of the dotted lines. Okay, and you will put an arrow. So this is a virtual image. Fine, this shows the virtual image. Now what about real image? If you have to show the real image, nothing will be changed in this diagram. The real image is going to be in the form of upright this upright arrow. Okay, now next it could be the image could be erect. Now what about the erect image? Erect image is going to be shown like this one is the erect image. Okay, so this symbol which is being drawn here is the erect image. Okay, which if you are going to draw the single headed arrow upwards, that means it is an erect image. Okay, now what about the inverted image? Okay, inverted image will be drawn in a down arrow form. So this erect image is always drawn in upright form, and the inverted image is always drawn in this downward direction. Now what about the real inverted image? Real inverted image is this which I have drawn here. And what about the real erect image? So real erect image is this one. Now if you have to draw a virtual erect, so virtual erect will be shown with the help of the dotted line. As I told you that virtual image will always be drawn in the form of dotted line. This is virtual erect. And what about virtual inverted? Virtual inverted will be drawn in the form of dotted line and the down-headed arrow. So this is how you are going to make the diagram of these types of symbols which we are going to use. Means mirror is always being shown in the form of the single line, and the lines which are being drawn here is going to show you the non-reflecting surface. Now next, if you have to show the mirrors, the types of mirrors which we are really going to consider with, so we are going to consider as the concave mirror, which is going to show you the this is going to show you the non-reflecting surface, and this one is going to show you the reflecting surface. Okay, and this one is the non-reflecting surface. So this is how the mirrors are being drawn, where the diagrams of mirror is always shown with a curved line if it is a curved mirror. Okay, now if convex mirror has to be shown, it will be shown like this, and the inner part will be non-reflecting surface. So this is how you are going to show the convex mirror, and concave mirror will be shown like this. Okay, so this is how you are going to show the mirrors. So this was all about the symbols which is being used in the ray diagrams. Now what do you mean by ray diagrams? So ray diagrams are the combination of all these symbols which is used to show the various light rays which are coming from the source, and then how it is going to behave after striking the mirror. Okay, so this is how and we have different positions for representing the object which are being placed at various positions in front of various types of the mirrors, especially these two, that is the concave and the convex mirror. So I'll just show you. Before drawing this ray diagram, one must be very much familiar with the rules which should be present for this reflection of light through the spherical mirrors. So the first rule says that whenever a line is passing through the center of curvature, after reflection it is going to back along the same path. It means that, see, here we are going to consider about both these mirrors will be shown at a single time, but after that I'll show you that how the rules are being followed in the concave mirror first. Fine. So first we go on to the first rule, which says that whenever a ray of light is passing from the center of curvature, now for that you should recognize the words which I taught you, that where is this pole lying, where is this focus lying, and where is the focal length is going to be present at the in front of the mirror. Fine. So one should recall all these things. So before doing this, we should recall the place where these words were known, means where these words were written. So this was the center of curvature, which is known as C. Then the focus was written in between the center of this pole. This was the half, means it was the center of the mirror, and then this mirror was placed like this, if suppose, then this place where this C and P were lying, this was the focus, and this is known as the focal length again. So all these things should be remembered, one should keep in mind. Now I told that The first rule is saying whenever a ray of light is passing from the center of curvature, after reflection it is going to fall back, it is going to come back along the same path. So whenever it is passing from the center of curvature, it is going to move and then it is going to come back again along the same path. This similar thing is happening in this convex mirror. Now the next rule, which is saying that an ray incident obliquely to the principal axis towards the pole, okay, on the spherical mirror is reflected back obliquely, means whenever the ray of light is passing at the pole, it is going to be reflected obliquely, which makes the angle of incidence and angle of reflection like this. Okay. So this is how the second rule is going to be stated. So this is, both these rules will be seen in both the types of spherical mirrors, that is whether it is a concave mirror or it is a convex mirror. Okay, now next is that next rule says if a concave mirror is there, a ray of light parallel to principal axis, after passing through the focus it appears to diverge from the focus in the case of convex mirror, and it in the case of concave mirror it is going to be converged at the focus. Now whenever a line is traveling in parallel to principal axis, now what is this principal axis? This principal axis is the place, the line which is being drawn at the center of this curvature, passing from the center of this curvature through till the pole. Okay, so this is this was known as the principal axis. Now if a line is traveling parallel to principal axis, after striking the mirror it is going to be reflected from the pole. Okay, it is going to be reflected from the focus. So please remember that in the case of concave mirror it is always going to be reflected from the focus, and in the case of convex mirror it appears to come from, it is going to appear to diverge at the focus. So this will be again be discussed in the detail in the next few slides. I think these diagrams are not very clear. I'll just show you the clear diagrams, then it will be much more effective for you all to understand. Okay, so next is the next rule. Just stay focused on the rules. So we have discussed 3 rules till now. Now the fourth rule is saying that whenever a ray of light is passing through focus, it is always parallel to principal axis in the case of concave mirror. Okay, and in the case of convex mirror, whenever a ray of light appears to come from focus, it is always passing parallel to the principal axis. So both all these rules will remain same whether the surface is concave or it is convex. So we have discussed about 4 rules where it is saying that a ray of light passing from the principal axis, which is parallel to principal axis, always passes from focus. If the light ray is passing from focus, it is passing after reflection, it is going to be parallel to principal axis. So these 2 rules are just vice versa, means these 2 rules are opposite to each other. And the next rule, which was that whenever a ray of light is passing from the pole, it is going to be reflected obliquely. Okay, so this is again the rule. And the next rule was the first rule which I discussed, that whenever a ray of light is passing from the center of curvature, it always comes back, it is always reflected back along the same path. Now we go on to the next first rule, which is being exclusively used in the case of concave mirror. So the first rule, again I am describing this rule so that it becomes very clear for you all, because these rules are very important for drawing the ray diagrams. And I told you, and see, this is how we are going to draw the ray diagrams. So you can see that the curved surface is being represented by such a curved line, and these lines are being drawn here, which shows that it is a non-reflecting surface, and the next inner side is the reflecting surface. Okay, so this is how the ray diagrams are being made, where you could see the positions of the pole, focus, center of curvature, and the even the objects also will be placed. And how is this image going to be formed? It will be very clear after drawing 1 or 2 diagrams. So the first, for that we should be very thorough with the rules. So the first rule, according to this for this concave mirror, says that when the light rays is parallel to a principal axis, means whenever the light rays are parallel to principal axis, it always passes from focus after reflection. Okay, now in the case of concave mirror, whenever a concave mirror is placed, now if a line is passing parallel, this is a principal axis, suppose that this is x and this is y, this is principal axis, and if a light ray is traveling parallel to principal axis like this, after passing the light from this, after striking the surface of the mirror, it is going to be reflected from the point, and that point will always be focus. Okay, so if you have to draw the ray diagram like this, you will always show the light which is incidenting with the arrow like this, and the light which is being ray which is being reflected will be always shown by the arrowhead. Okay, so you are going to tell you where you are going to, you are supposed to draw these arrows. So these little points, little things is making very much importance in these ray diagrams. So the first rule says whenever a ray of light is parallel to principal axis, you could even write down that this is principal axis. Okay, now after this principal axis, once it is being drawn, it is always going to tell you that it is always passing from the point that will be focus. So after once it is being drawn from the parallel to principal axis, it always passes from focus. So remember this first rule. According to this, which is going to be drawn in the which will be helpful to draw the ray diagrams, which I am going to explain in the further slides. So this rule, I think, is very clear. Whenever a ray of light is passing parallel to principal axis, it is always passing from the focus. Fine. Now here I think you all can recognize that what is the meaning of the C. C means center of curvature, F means focus, P means pole, X and Y are the principal axis, where A and B is the light ray which is incidenting, and this light ray which after incidenting becomes the reflected ray, which is being shown by this arrowhead. Now next is the rule number 2. So this rule number 2 says that whenever a ray of light is passing through the center of curvature of a concave mirror, it is reflected back along the same path. So this was the second rule. Means again, this is the concave mirror which is being shown by a curved line, and this curved line and these small lines which are being drawn here is showing you the non-reflecting surface, and the inner side is going to show you the reflecting surface. Okay, now what happens once the second rule, this rule is saying whenever a ray of light is passing from the center of curvature, okay, it is passing from the center of curvature, then it always moves along after striking, it is always coming back along with the same path. Okay, so it follows the same path, means when from where it is going, it is again coming back from the same path. Means if it is going from the center of curvature, it means it is going to return back again from the center of curvature. So this is how the second rule is applied in a concave mirror, where the ray of light is passing from a center of curvature is always reflecting back along the same path, and all other abbreviations which are being written here, the short forms which are being written here, is always being common. The first short form, which is written as C, is known as the center of curvature, F means focus, P means poles, and here X and Y is the principal axis. Okay, next is this A and B, means it is the ray of light which is passing, and it is again returning back along the same path. So this was the second rule. Now what about the third rule? So the third rule also has a very importance, that the ray of light, when it is passing through focus, okay, now if I say that in the first rule I told that whenever a ray of light is passing parallel to principal axis, after striking it was passing from the focus. Okay, this was passing from focus. Now if this rule gets reversed, means if the ray of light is passing, it is coming, means it is coming from the focus. Now what happens? So here the same thing is happening. Whenever a ray of light is passing from the focus, then it after striking it becomes parallel to principal axis. So this is how the principal axis is always being shown. Principal axis is always means this reflected ray is always parallel to principal axis. So this is the reverse of the first rule, where it was told that whenever a ray of light is parallel to principal axis, it passes from focus. Now this is vice versa, means if the ray of light is passing from focus, it is always parallel to principal axis. It is always returning back from parallel to principal axis. Okay, so this is what is known as the focus, and this is center of curvature C, and this is known as pole, and x and y is the principal axis. So this is how the third rule is being explained in the form, in the respect of this concave mirror. Okay, now next is the rule number 4, that is again very easy, that whenever a ray which is being incident at the pole, means whenever a ray of light is being incident at the pole, okay, so this is center of curvature, this is focus, this is pole. And what is pole? Pole is the center of this mirror, and you just show you this with the help of the dotted some lines which will be placed at the back side of the mirror. Means it is going to show you the opaque side of the mirror. Now whenever a ray of light is passing from the pole, means it is striking the pole, it always returns with the, it is always being means it is, whenever the ray of light is striking obliquely on the pole, it is going to be reflected obliquely after striking it on the pole. So this becomes angle I and this becomes angle R. So here it is only written the same thing, that whenever a ray of light is passing obliquely from the center of, from this pole, it is always coming back along the it is always reflected obliquely from the poles, making the same angle, means equal angle. So these two angles will be equal, whether it is I and this is R. Okay, so here is being shown in this diagram that whenever a light is incident obliquely on this pole, it is always reflected obliquely. By making the similar angle, same angles will be made. So this is about the fourth rule which is being used in this concave mirror. Okay, so with these rules, with these laws, and with these rules in the which is being used in the concave mirror, we are going to draw the ray diagrams which will be based upon the places. Means you know that position of the object should be known. For that you should always remember the positions. First I'm just discussing the position where are these objects might be placed, so that it could be able to behave in the manner that after reflection what kind of image will be formed. And you should know the nature of the image also, the nature of the image also should be known. So whenever some images, see, some of the types of images are that I told you that it is inverted image. In the beginning only I told that some symbols are being used in drawing the ray diagram. So here the symbols were the virtual in the erect image, then real image, inverted image, and some of the words are being used. So what words are there? That it is enlarged, the image will be formed enlarged. Now this enlarged means it is formed, whenever the image is being formed, it will be very large, very big. Okay, and if the image is formed very small, so it is not written very small, it is written diminished. Okay, so the image will be formed in the form of diminished, means it is diminished image. Diminished image means it is very small image which cannot be seen. So these are the few words which one should remember, that how are these being used. So we just now discussed about the rules. Now based upon these rules, we will form the image in the concave mirror. Before that you should know that there are various positions where an object could be placed. Means there are possibilities where the object could be placed, and these possibilities are 6 in number. So the first one is that if the object is placed at infinity, means it is placed very far away. Okay, very far away from the mirror, means it is not being placed in front of the mirror, it is placed at somewhere at very far away which we cannot see. Next position of the object could be beyond C. Okay, now you should just remember the way by which we are making this. We are going to draw the ray diagram that will be just in the same manner where these objects should be placed. So I must just draw a ray diagram here, and you all should recall the positions where it was being, where it might be kept. So this is the center of the sphere, which is center of curvature. This is pole. Okay, just written as P, and in between the center of curvature and pole was the focus, and this is known as the which was denoted by F. Okay, now first I told that the object is placed at infinity. Infinity means somewhere very far away. Next, if so this is the symbol for infinity. Sometimes it is being used like this, or sometimes it is being written infinity. Okay, infinity means very far. This is known as very far. Now next is that beyond C. Beyond C means center of curvature, beyond center of curvature. Beyond means after the center of curvature. It is back at the center of curvature. This object could be placed like this. So you know that object is always placed in the form of arrow, and it will always be kept in an upright position. Okay, it will be named as A and B. Fine. Arrowhead will be named as A and this down will be named as B, or you could even write your name in, even write your alphabet where you like, whatever you like. Okay, so this is how this image is being made after once it is light rays coming from this object. So this object is always placed on these 6 positions. So first position is infinity, second is this beyond C. Now the third position is at C. At C means it is at center of curvature, like this. Now between C and F, between C and F means it is between the center of curvature and the focus. So this could be between C and F means it will be drawn like this. Okay, I'll just show you how to draw it. Just rub it off so that it is not going to confuse you. So here between C and F means this is center of curvature and F means focus. So somewhere here in between C and F, center of curvature and focus. Next is at focus. Now if the object is placed at focus, where it might be kept? It might be kept here at F. Okay. Now next is that the last position which we have to discuss is when the object is placed between F and P. F and P means where? It could be placed between F and P. F means what? It is focus, and P means pole, okay, which I have drawn here. This could be placed somewhere here very near to this mirror. So mirror will be drawn like this. Fine. So this is how the position of the object is going to decide that what kind of image will be formed after the reflection of light. Now reflection of light, because we are using the mirrors, we are using these curved surface mirrors. Okay, so these curved surface mirror, especially the concave mirror. Now next will be at the convex mirror, where only is few positions will be required. We'll just discuss the rules and the way by which the mirrors are going to form the image. The convex mirror is going to form the image. Now with this, I think you all have understood that what kind of image is being drawn in the case of the concave mirror. Now one should remember the rules and the places where is this object going to be placed. Now one should remember that what was C? C was this center of curvature, means it was the sphere from where this mirror was being cut. It was the center of that spherical mirror. Then we discussed about what is pole. Pole means it is the center of the mirror from where it is being cut. Okay, so this will be the center of the mirror, which is going to be a part of the spherical mirror. Next, where is this focus being lying? Focus is always at the in between this C and center of curvature and pole. Okay, so this was about the various positions where which is being related with the spherical mirrors. Now if the light ray is coming from infinity, what will if the light ray is coming, means the object is placed at infinity and from there the light source is coming, then what happens? Then where is the image going to be formed? Then if the source of light is present at the center of curvature, then what happens? Where is this light ray going to strike, and what all things will be drawn, what all types of image will be found once if it is placed at different positions. Now it is very much definite that the positions of the image is going to decide the nature of the image being formed. Okay, so remember these words are very common. These words are very useful for writing the explanation of the image ray diagram. So what is ray diagram? Now I think you all have understood. Ray diagram is a diagram which is used to show the rays of light which is coming from the various objects and how it is going to behave after reflection. So once an object which is placed in front of a concave mirror, an image is obtained. So this image is formed at the point where at least two reflected rays meet, intersect. Yes, so this is a very important point to understand, that how is this image going to be formed. Image formation will always take place at the point where the two rays will meet. Means in the case of concave mirror it will meet actually, and in the case of convex mirror it appears to meet somewhere. Okay, so wherever the two rays are going to intersect, the image will be formed in that particular place. So with these 2 points kept in mind, that wherever these two light rays are going to meet, image will be formed there. And secondly, the position of the object matters in the ray diagram. And then thirdly, all the rules should be followed, particularly which the first 2 rules which I told. Okay, so according to the rules, we are going to draw the ray diagrams of this concave mirror in the next slide. Okay, so this is how we will draw. This is making use of these laws, the rules which I taught you just now, the rules. Okay, so the rules and the concept of the image form is the placement of the object. So where is this object being placed? And thirdly, the image formation, nature of the image, what kind of the image will be formed. So with this we will draw the ray diagram, a diagram which is made to show the way of the light which behaves after reflection. So this ray diagram will be, it is a very big topic that will be taught in the next class. So for the next class, one should be prepared about the positions of these objects. Okay, one should be very clear in his mind that what are the places we are talking about, and the rules should be thorough with. So please remember the rules and remember these places, and then only we will start with the ray diagram. Okay, in the next class. That's all for today's video. I will meet you all in the next video, which will be discussed in the next class. So that's all for today's.